everybody. We are back from break with more Dungeon of the Mad Mage. When we left our heroes, they had found themselves on the 12th level of the dungeon, 12th level of Undermountain. They found an escort, drow waiting for them, leading them away from the dangerous maze tunnels of misty minotaurs and not so misty minotaurs, into the territory of House Freth and to Spiderwatch Keep, where it was made very apparent that their presence is a known factor and that the might of House Freth is on notice and prepared to react should something happen. There were multiple greetings and different instances of Balrin's return. And now the party finds themselves in the audience chamber of Erelal Freth, the Great Mother, the leader of House Freth. And they have witnessed a individual they have met before, Vicdara, who was a companion to Dirzana Freth, one of the 3 drow that they released from Slither Swamp. One of the 3 House Freth drow that they released from Slither Swamp. And after expressing what had happened and the shame that she felt over it, Vicadara has found herself before the Great Mother, who has just slapped the taste out of her mouth. And in a very quiet, calm voice immediately afterwards, none of the other drow react in any way, shape, form, or fashion. In a very calm voice, immediately after slapping the shit out of Vicadara, Erelal says, "I will never hear you disparage yourself like that again. You did nothing dishonorable. Survival is not a mistake. And in point of fact, what you did to survive may very well allow for my daughter's rescue in the future. You are to hold your head high. You are not to feel guilt over something for which you are blameless." And then you see her reach out a hand. And Vicadara, who is wounded, but not mortally wounded, right? You can see she has this pretty sickly gash across her shoulders. And she clearly has just recently gotten here, and is reporting. You see Erelal reach out, and all of that wound is healed away in an instant. Gone.
Magic.
Every single portion, to the point to where you hear this sucking in of breath from Vicadara as she is overwhelmed with the amount of magical healing that has just been pushed into her body. She kind of wavers for a moment, and Erelal catches her arm and holds her on her feet, and leans in and gives her a very gentle hug. Before turning to all of you, and as she does, she takes a step back towards her crystal divan, and sits slightly away from her harp, more towards the jagged glaive that is propped up there. And she doesn't look at all of you immediately. She looks to Rilna, right? And she nods to her sister, and she says, "Thank you very much, sister. If there is nothing else, you may go attend to your duties." Rilna nods to her and marches around all of you and back out the way she came.
Ezra bows to Rilda.
She inclines her head to you. Erelal waits for Rilna to leave the room. The door closes behind her. And then she turns her gaze. You see Vicadara kind of moves. There's a little tut from Driven, and Vicadara moves over to stand by him. Erelal turns her gaze, appraises each of you very, very swiftly. And then her gaze settles not on you, but on Balrin. And she ushers Balrin forward. Steps very, very cautiously and very unsurely up to the front of all of you. And this time does fully kneel. There's no deep bow. Balrin goes to his knees. And you don't hear anything. And I believe only because of each of you motherfuckers being trained in insight. You see just the slight, you hear nothing. She doesn't make a large facial movement or expression, but you see just the barest hint of exasperation on Erilal's face. Like, these motherfuckers and their deference, right? That just kind of like crosses her face, and she tuts. She doesn't get up, but she tuts and motions Balrin to rise.
We don't do that here.
And she says, "You have performed a service for my house, one that left you in great peril. You return here to a home waiting for you, happy that you're come back. Nothing else. That being said, I'm sure you will be more than willing to give a full debriefing later on." And Balrin is just nervous, standing there, giving off this feeling of being out of place. And Erilal kind of like looks at him for a moment. And she, again, all of you insightful motherfuckers, seems to go through a series of appraisals before she seems to come to a realization. And she smiles, very, very light, very soft smile. She says, "Perhaps, if all goes well here today, and an amenable alliance can be made, we will need some sort of ambassador between our two factions." Like, she reads the motherfucker in a fraction of seconds, right? And
you got like 32 insight.
This weight just seems to completely lift off of Balrin. And he nods, and he just very graciously mumbles something under his breath. I think lightly enough that only Bones and Matashtai would hear. He says, "Thank you, my queen." And then he, without being bidden, he steps out of the way. And back up against the wall. And then Erilal's appraising eyes get to turn back to all of you. And you see she takes a deep, deep breath. "Well, I have heard a great many things over the last several weeks about a thorn presenting itself in the paw of our enemy. I think perhaps that information has been understated. To be clear, to cut to the quick, we do not seek the annihilation of House Ovrindar. That is not our goal. Our goal is to be able to live peacefully and happily, preferably within the halls of the Temple of Obsidia, so that we might utilize its connection with our goddess. However, the current status of scenarios means that we see little path forward to that objective outside of the annihilation of House Ovrendar's power, at the very least, if not the entirety of the house itself. We state our goals clearly to you now, and would you do the same to us?
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, party, y'all can all speak.
Well, to put it bluntly, I'm pretty sure that they will use every ounce of their power to kill us after we have killed
2 house captains?
three daughters to their matron mother,
We killed 3?
and weakened their armed leadership, from my understanding, pretty immensely.
Believe you killed 2. A third has died, essentially because of you.
Because of us, yes.
And you killed a son and 2 house captains.
I thought it was 3 house captains.
Should just be 2 house captains right now.
So 4 of her children and 2 of her house captains.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
Technically, yeah.
they're definitely not fans of us.
There's a comment, right? You hear this kind of like, again, this chuckle coming from Driven, who seems to be just amused by the entirety of these events. And you see perhaps disapproving look from Erelal in his direction. He nods across the room past all of you towards Balrin, and he said, I thought I recognized the blade at your hip. A recent acquisition.
Yeah,
And Balrin, Balrin just kind of like inclines his head. He assents via motion, but he doesn't say anything.
A gift for his assistance in the defense of our home. My home. He earned it.
Erelal kind of like recenters the conversation. She says, this is all good information. And I am happy to know it. But it does not answer my original query. Would you share your actual goals with us?
House Lavendar has done nothing but deal in bad faith with me. With us.
Bad faith?
They came into my home.
Putting it lightly.
They tried to kill my family. I won't let them do it again. Whatever that means.
We come from the surface. We come from Waterdeep.
And our goals are much deeper.
And
But they have proven to be a thorn in our side.
we've had to deal with them aggressing against people of Waterdeep. We've had to defend other allies within the Legion from them. They have attacked us directly, and as Bones has mentioned, has attacked the Skull Takers as well. And they constantly impede our progress deeper into the mountain.
She looks at Bones, in kind of response to all of this information, and she says, seems we share some things in common. I understand what it is like to have my family slain by House Ovrendar. I hope that you will not experience what I have. I feel I understand your intentions towards House Ovrendar. Unfortunately, before I feel as if I can deal in good faith with you, I feel as if you are keeping things from me. You do not have to tell me your life stories, but you have already stated your goals take you further down. A simple statement of what those goals might be. If we are to ally ourselves with you, we would make sure that we don't doom ourselves along the way.
What would you consider dooming yourselves?
Are you secretly followers of Orcus that seek a shrine upon the 17th level that will, once your ritual is completed, corrupt the entirety of Undermountain and turn it into an undead horde that will fill the surface for all eternity?
We
Wow.
mean to
No.
defeat Halaster.
I don't mean to defeat Halaster.
She kind of narrows her gaze at these sets of statements. She says, and how exactly does one defeat the ever-living master of this place?
Thought of it. Don't know yet.
That is our mission.
You hear Driven does not catch his chuckle this time, just straight out, like, laughs over on the side of the room. And you see Erelal this time again. It's not a slight like eye. It's like she full on like disapprovingly looks over at Driven. He gives one of these like motions of like fine.
Yeah. We have been tasked.
I thought they got me.
We've been tasked by the Open Lords of Waterdeep to explore the dungeon.
By the
Find out what we
masked
can do.
lords.
I was gonna say
not the open lords.
only one open lord.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
Laeral, it's Laeral.
By leadership within
Yeah,
Waterdeep.
you have
Yeah.
every reason to presume that all of your patrons are
Right.
lords of Waterdeep, masked lords of Waterdeep. But technically, you don't know that for sure.
Right.
Yeah, I think Erelal will kind of like nod at that. Like she'll take that as that's a weighty statement. That is powerful backing to know that you're not just some fucking skilled, mind you, but just some fucking bunch of adventurers that just caterwauling around doing whatever the fuck they want to do. You're down here because the people who rule the city of Waterdeep want you to be down here. And that seems to the combination of statements that you have made, even though they're perhaps they don't maybe make sense to Erelal necessarily, right? She at least understands the concept. And you see her doing like these calculations in her mind where she's kind of like looking back at things. Kind of nods.
Are we done sharing our objectives? Do we already do that?
For the most part, did you have something that you wanted to like interject?
Well, I'll look long.
Okay, gotcha. I think it's at that point that Erelal crosses her arms. She says, I have asked of you to share information to make sure that we are not harming ourselves by allying with you. So I will do the same for you. I will not have you walk into a scenario only to find or feel as if there is no assistance being provided you, and this was all a ruse. You see Driven kind of like turn his head. Maybe now he's got the disapproving look, right? Because he maybe understands what his sister's about to do. And she ignores him. She says, I would have you know that we are a house besieged. We are surrounded by enemies. We have failed to retain allies or obtain new allies. And because of this, we have lost ground and good people to House Alfred. From death, from betrayal, from capture. It is likely that without some sort of severe reversal of fortunes, we will slowly be ground down by House Alfredar. There is a barely contained hiss, or like voice of dissent from every drow in the room, including Balrin, including Driven, right? Every single one of them is like makes this reaction of like, no, don't say that. No, we'll not. No, we'll never
We'll win.
lose, right? Like we'll figure something out, right? And Erlal just ignores it all and just pushes forward, right? She says, "We have not given up. We will not give up. We have many things yet that we mean to try, many routes available to us, and I will not let my family perish. But without some assistance, without some change in tactics, it will not be long before we must succumb or flee." I know my god, my goddess works in some strange ways. You see her look, like her eyes dart to the right. You see there's a small shrine over in the corner south of Balrin, right? Her eyes kind of dart over there. For a brief moment, she says, "I'm not treating you as some sort of deliverance, but we have been looking for something to shift the weight of the scales in our direction. I am curious if you could be that stone."
How do you feel about the Legion?
I am only vaguely familiar with the Legion of Azrock. I am more familiar with the Death's Head mercenaries. Unfortunately, they have proven an unviable source of military might for us.
Hold on. Sorry, Death's Head mercenaries?
The Death's Head mercenaries is a company of hobgoblin mercenaries within
That's
Undermountain.
Ezra's son's group.
Yeah. Perhaps led by the son of Azrock?
Erlal kind of shrugs and she says, "I have no knowledge of this particular information."
I see.
They
We're
are
gonna hold on to that little nugget.
I will pluck that out.
they are a few levels down from here. We have sent envoys, but unfortunately their services are already paid for. And that is not an avenue with which we will find viability, I fear. We have other threads, other... She kind of like pauses for a moment. Driven speaks up and he says, "I believe what my sister means to say is that we've got a lot of irons in the fire. Unfortunately, every time we try to handle one, it feels like 37 more crop up, including most recently the capture of my niece."
Well,
He kind of like looks over at Vicadara, and she kind of nods.
sure. I will say that I intend to bring the might of all of the allies that I've gained thus far And barring that, I will personally pick at House Arvindar over and over and over until they're not a threat.
Erelal responds, because I fear guerrilla tactics will not save us at this moment. Unfortunately, House Arvindar is in a powerful position, and a position of power calls to the lower houses. It means they are able to replenish losses almost with impunity. We have tried more guerrilla-like tactics to try to weaken their hold on power, but it has been for naught. Vlonwell, for all of her ills, is a great orator. She is able to move the dark hearts that work for her, and with great success. She needs do little to call more to her aid. But this talk of other allies does intrigue me. Perhaps it is...
when they hear, the lower houses hear that House Arvindar has lost 2 of its captains to adventurers,
and
that would weaken its position.
And 4 of its sons and daughters. I do believe you may be correct. That might actually cause some dissension in their ranks. Unfortunately, as I said, Vlonwell is a great orator, and you guys recall, right, when you were in Mural's Gauntlet, you had that brief moment where you heard, like, on broadcast, this elven, this drow propaganda, basically, right? And Erelal basically reiterates that, right? House Arvindar is well versed in lying to her people and her allies.
Sure.
Not to say that your thought doesn't have merit. This might not be as effective as one would hope.
Sure.
Do you know where your daughter is being held?
I have a hunch.
Is she within the compounds, or is she in a remote location still to...
Fortunately or unfortunately, I have an idea of where she is, and I will work to isolate more where she is. The temple complex of Obsidia is expansive, which is a boon to us. It means that there is quite a bit of ground for Vlonwev's forces to cover, to protect, to defend, to watch. That means that we have opportunities to infiltrate locations at specific times. She looks over towards that little shrine. She says, I have every intention of attempting a rescue for my daughter. Ultimately, though, we will have to think of the house and its resources. We cannot go blindly trying to save one if it is going to mean the death of many.
Why not send us?
The thought had crossed my mind, but you had mentioned... Roll an insight check for me. As she's saying this, Matashtai, you, specifically because you're Mr. Insight, roll an insight check for me.
Okay.
She
Mr.
says,
Insight.
the thought
Mr.
had occurred to me, but during our correspondence, you mentioned that you would only be able to be here for a brief amount of time, that you had business elsewhere. So I had assumed that perhaps if time was a particularly fraught resource, that you perhaps might not be the best choice. you are able to tell while she is saying this, Matashtai. Absolutely, she's potentially interested in you guys participating, but she also clearly has in mind an alternative or something else to do at the same time.
Sure.
Okay.
Right? Like
Remind me, guys.
this is a
what was
woman
the
that
reason
has
we
not
want to go topside again? Was it just to do topside stuff, or did we have a thing we're trying to do up there?
No, I think it was in the vein of gathering allies and trying to get reinforcements
okay.
and stuff like that, right? Like Bones, you wanted to stop by the your patrons basically and see what they could potentially throw in for the cause. You wanted to meet up with the Legion on the way up there at the same time, etc., etc.
Yeah, it was just convenient to go up top while meeting with allies and stuff.
Gotcha. Okay.
But yeah, so
But
like
we also have a matron mother here that can send a message if we so deem.
you Matasha, you're very able to like tell, and I think all of you are able to tell, right? Like this woman, this incredibly powerful, incredibly important woman is being very frank with all of you, potentially to the annoyance of her brother, right? But at the same time, this woman and this ruler did not get to where she was off of hoping and a praying on some randos, right? Like, Matashtai, you are easily able to tell right when she's talking to you that she has at least one other potential plan in mind, and maybe a different combination of plans, right? But all of you are able to tell, like, this she seems as if she is a well put together, 3 steps ahead kind of individual, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, well, I don't.
We might be able to shift things around time-wise, but I think we need to discuss that amongst ourselves before we commit.
That's very fair. I obviously have particular opinions. This is my daughter, after all.
Understandable.
But I also understand the greater whole of your objectives. And, well, perhaps not your objectives, but a faction's objectives, and the need of the many. You have, after all, an entire city you are working to aid. I will not hold it against you if you feel what you need to do isn't directly assist the recovery of my daughter. However, if you do choose that path, I would be most grateful. You hear a little bit of a sigh, and you see Driven kind of step forward, and he says, "So that's it then, sister. You've already made your decision?" He crosses his arms. And Erelal looks at him, and you see the first time you see this kind of like little wry smile creep up the side of her face, and she says, "Not exactly. I still have every intention of following through on what we discussed." She turns back to each of you, and she says, "Are there any other immediate questions or concerns you had?"
I mean, once we get your daughter taken care of, then we can talk about the greater threat.
Wonderful. She turns.
Do you
Go ahead.
and your people know of any other way to protect against the shadow? The portals are very useful, but we've run into some issues with them.
She looks at you and she says, by the grace of my goddess, I am able to aid my kin and followers in the utilization of the portals. Unfortunately, it does require my presence. It feels, when she says that, right, it's basically mirroring the same scenario that you have with Willow, right?
Willow, yeah.
Yeah.
She's sounds like she is able to grant a blessing that would increase your chances of safety, right? But not be a perfect fit.
Yeah.
After that,
Okay. Oh, sorry. After
no,
that.
she kind of like, she defers to, I asked if you had any further questions before we continued. By all
Well,
means.
I think we're good.
I mean,
We got
so
some things to discuss.
to the Alliance, we bring ourselves, hopefully our allies, and a will to destroy Avrendar.
It
What do you
sounds
bring?
like it would be incredibly beneficial. What we bring,
Mm-hmm.
we bring the might of House Freth. We bring knowledge of the defenses of House Avrendar. We bring experience fighting House Avrendar. We bring the knowledge and experience of the terrain and levels of where we will likely hold battles. We also bring knowledge of the detriments and deterrents that have held us at bay, that have kept us from succeeding against House Avrendar. And she looks at you, right? In this very assessing kind of way. She says, and we bring our own might. You see, she turns back to that shrine and she says, Zeron, I require your aid. And you hear this pop, and you see this man apparate out of nowhere. Bones, you have a 22 passive perception. This motherfucker was not here. Or if he was, he is one with the shadow.
That's the shadow under the mountain. Kill him.
You see...
He is. Kill him.
You see appearing
Kill him
as
away.
if from nowhere a drow figure sporting long, sleek black hair, which is a definite oddity for a drow. You see his brigandine and his trousers are more conventional, though his mostly bare feet kind of stand out. But his purple frock coat marks him as incredibly unique, at least among the drow that you have seen so far. This is a strange outfit and an air of opulence that you just haven't really seen amongst most of the drow figures. His severe, almost hawkish figures, however, seem very ordinary amongst the drow, almost too ordinary. You see this figure.
Ooh, weird.
And
Alright,
as soon
now.
as this person appears, right, he looks across at, actually should be changed, this should be, Dark Dancer. He looks across at Erelal and he inclines his head, not in a deep reverent bow towards a queen or a matriarch. He just kind of like inclines his head in like a hello, how do you do kind of like style. And he says, you have need of my services, in almost kind of like a smug way. And Erelal rolls her eyes at him and just says, yes. He looks at all of you, and his eyes go black, and you see veins of black begin to funnel out from his eyes across the side of his face, and his hair begins to lift in waves behind him, like undulating power. And
he's edgy.
and Erelal stands up and picks up the glaive that is resting next to her. And she goes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And she looks about the room and she says, there's a drow guarding the door to the west, and then a drow right behind you guys next to the door as well. And she motions them and she says, Shazantar, Ulgrith, step aside, if you will. And the one behind you, Ulgrith, kind of like shoulders past all of you, just like, excuse me, sorry, in a moment, my bad. To get the fuck out of the way. And then Erlal looks at Balrin and says, Balrin, would you mind aiding us in a little test of skill? And Balrin looks at her and then looks at all of you guys, and she says, please do not worry, my dear. And then he inclines his head and says to her, I would be honored. She looks at all of you. 5 skilled opponents versus 5 skilled opponents.
Huh?
Perhaps a little sparring. Just to see what each of us actually brings to the table.
Fuck me.
All right.
Oh boy.
Matt
Oh,
cracks
boy.
his knuckles.
Oh
I
boy.
need
What did
everyone
I
to
get myself
select their
into?
tokens and roll for initiative. You guys are about to fight Erlal Freth, the Great Mother, her brother, the Archmage Driven Freth,
attack a
the
fucking
Dark
pregnant
Dancer,
lady? You
Zoran
fucking kidding me?
Adaragon. Oh, she
Yeah, I'm not
is...
sure I feel good about
She is
that.
I'm
very,
not
very pregnant. And she
No.
does not seem to give 2 shits about it.
It's not happening. I'm not.
She has
attacking
a
the pregnant-
big ass fucking jagged ass glaive that she's about to hit someone in the face with. I'm so ready for this.
Apparently, I was too.
You see, no. Well, this all just happens. Un moment. Oh, right.
You gonna roll for Mossy, Zach?
Oh, is Mossy involved?
Yes, Mossy is your
number
fifth member.
5.
She said 5v5.
I thought fucking
Oh
Balrin
no.
was-
No, Balrin is on the
Balrin's
other
on the
team.
other side.
Yeah, we're fighting Balrin.
Yep, you are fighting Valren. You gave him a sword, and now he's gonna stab you with it.
Yeah, it is what it is.
Well, he's gonna try to stab you with it.
Boy isn't a sword. Oh.
All right. Yikes, my yikes. Let's get some battle sounds, shall we?
Battle sounds.
And let's go to the battle page.
Behind me.
Oh my goodness. As soon as this whole... You say yes, right? And everyone in this whole room, like, everyone's body language changes. Everyone immediately goes into fight mode. Weapons get drawn. Everyone changes stances. Everyone except for the 2 drow over on the side who are both, like, in... oh my god mode. Like, they're just watching, like, the
They pull out their
craziest
phones, hit
shit.
record.
Right?
Yeah.
One suddenly just manifests popcorn and is just like, oh shit, right? And
Go
as the first kind of like round begins, right? Erlal pops up just to test, obviously, but don't hold back. And you see Zoran says, don't mind if I do. And just a shadow, a jet black form of nothingness appears behind you all.
Do I recognize this as casting darkness?
No. You see no hand movements, you see no actions, nothing. Zoran just says, don't mind if I do. There's darkness behind you, and then there's Zoran behind you.
Yep.
And
As soon as you
yeah,
put that cube up, I knew what was happening. How
as
much damage are you gonna do to me?
he
Jesus
basically
fucking Christ.
steps through the shadow at
Am
you.
I tuned to? I am.
Dang.
Nice. All right. Cool.
Difficult. Map layer, and then
Yeah.
did I put him on the map layer? My God, I gotta zoom in. I keep clicking the wrong fucking person.
Instead of doing black for your cube, you should do like a light gray so that.
Oh, that's fair. Very, very good idea. That way, even if it's in the wrong place, it's still gonna be seeable.
Especially since you're going to be doing that a lot, if I remember correctly from
Well,
the Shadow Blade.
This guy's modified just because I think that is a lot to do.
It is very broken. Yes.
So yeah, that's not gonna be 100% what I do here.
Oh, it still hides
No,
them. That's surprising.
I keep doing the wrong damn thing because I keep clicking. Go to the right layer, you dum.
Yeah, dum.
Yeah, dumb.
After you one tap me and kill me.
He blinks behind you,
Nope.
and he looks at you, and he says, "No hard feelings." And then he tries to bludgeon you. He doesn't try to stab you. He tries to bludgeon you in the
Okay.
back of the head with its hilt. It's going to be bludgeoning damage, but everything else is going to be the same. Is this? Yes, perfect. He is going to use his Shadow Summoner Blade on you. That is a 26 to hit.
There's
Jeez.
nothing I can do to stop that, so that
Okay, well,
hits.
he just whacks you in the back of the head with the hilt of his blade. And you all hear this, like, not a sickening crunch, but definitely like a hard knock, right? As Ezrah takes a hit in the head. Oh, and you hear Zoran make this kind of like ooh sound, right? Like this, right? Like it's sucking in type scenario. And then he smacks. He goes for Bones. He tries to smack Bones in the back of the head as well. 21.
21 does hit.
All right, 13 bludgeoning damage to you.
Okay, I am bludgeoned.
Okay.
Uncanny dodge.
Absolutely, sounds good.
So -7.
Okay. And that's seemingly it for now. And you hear this kind of like tut tut from Erelal, right? And she says, "I said no holding back." And it's Ezra's turn. And you see Ezra, you're turning to defend yourself, and you see this kind of like sheepish, like, what? Kind of like look on Zoran's face, like, I didn't do anything. Not you. He's making the face at Erelal, like,
her.
you know,
Yep.
what? I didn't hold back.
All right. Might as well give this a go, because I haven't tried this yet, and this seems like a good sparring match. So I'm going to begin casting. As I do, I'm going to Tempestuous Magic away from this motherfucker.
Ooh, nice.
And then I'm going to cast a Chain Lightning. Oh, I don't have an upcast on there. What? Why isn't it giving me an upcast option? Because I'm going to cast it at 8th level.
Ooh.
Or, sorry, 7th level.
8th level.
You
What level
see,
are we?
you see instinctively,
What
right?
level are
Like
we?
Driven's hand goes up, and then you see it pause. It goes down. Like you see his hand goes up to counterspell you,
Yep,
and then he
yep.
he
I
pulls back.
I realized what I was doing.
And he doesn't do it. He like tries to see what you're gonna do instead, right? Like he gives you a freebie.
But it's not extra damage. It's an extra bounce, which works. Because
Was it
then that
only-
means. So I'm casting it at the matron mother,
Okay, gotcha.
and since I get an extra
Opens
bounce,
with
that's-
electricity on the pregnant lady.
that's she said, "Don't hold back," and
He definitely
and
said
that's
that.
4 bounces. So that means I hit all 5 individuals.
Awesome.
With chain lightning.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, fantabulous. We're gonna go. Which direction do you want to bounce around the room? Clockwise or counterclockwise?
Clockwise is fine.
Oop, oop, oop.
So brother first, and then go around, or I don't know how you want to do it. However you want to do it, I don't care. You're the one managing 20 fucking character sheets.
Mother,
So-
brother, Growl.
Yeah,
Drow.
I can't remember what her name is. The other drow.
Aerolol,
the-
Driven, Zeron, Balrin, and Vicadara.
Oh, Saran.
Okay, so
Vic-
you're going
Vicadara just
brother.
got
You're going
healed.
clockwise. Is that what you said?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Whatever's easier for you, Jeremy. I understand your blight.
Doesn't matter. Dexterity saving throw from Aerolol. She passes.
Yep.
She also has advantage on that, anyways.
Well, that's
so,
unfortunate.
Driven is up. Driven has advantage on this. He passes. Vicadara is up.
That one
Vicadara
was hidden, I think.
does
Just as a
not
heads up.
have anything. Say what? Oh, that one
I
was
think
hidden.
those rolls are hidden. Just as heads up.
Oh yeah. Why are they on? Vicadara failed. Vicadara got a 14. Driven got a 29. I will change his status though, so it's not too. Why is it on always whisper? Whisper toggle, please, and thank you. Oh, yeah. Toggle. Oh, that is on whisper toggle. Did I accidentally click whisper? I do have whisper clicked. My bad. Okay, so Aerolol succeeded. Driven succeeds. Vicadara fails. Zeron. Fails. Wow. Holy wow. And then Balrin. Can't believe you've done this to Balrin.
I can't either. It's fucked up.
Balrin succeeds.
Would rather hit Balrin than a pregnant lady.
Okay.
So also, when you're calculating damage, since Balrin and the Shadow Blade are within 10 feet of me, they take an extra 6 lightning damage.
All right. So if people succeeded, how much do they take?
24.
24. Okay, so it's 24.
24.
24.
Man, the wall drop. See.
Okay. Vicadara fails, so takes 46.
48.
48.
48.
48.
Like, a single hit, and Vicadara is looking like she did when you first stepped in the fucking room.
Oops.
Oh, God. Zeron takes a little love tap.
A little love tap of 30 damage.
And Balrin
For him, it probably is a love tap.
takes a tap.
So that's Balrin and the Shadow Blade taking 30 because that's including the extra 6
Yep.
damage for them.
Absolutely.
Yep. Okay.
All right.
And
you see-
then
You do that, right? This chain of lightning bounces around the chamber, right? And you hear this kind of growl from Aerolol. And I'm gonna put this off to the side, and hopefully we can see it here. Yeah, this is just a tight room, so it's just gonna be difficult to see wherever it is. I'm gonna put this on the map layer. You can actually see her health bar now, as she's taking damage. So, you hear her kind of growl, and Driven goes, "Fine, fine, fine. I won't let it happen again."
because he didn't burn his counter spell.
That is funny. That is funny.
And anything else for your turn, Ezra?
No, I think I need to stay where I am. I can't get fucking surrounded.
Okay. All right.
I've kind of made myself a target, so
Ashes, you're up, my dude.
All right. All right, as long as we're showing what we can bring to the table, might as well show my hand. Crack pop, grow hair, snout, all that.
Almost as if in unison, Driven, Zeron, and Erlal all go, "Oh, no, stop! He's a werewolf!" As if they all already knew.
I jerk my head over to Driven,
Yeah?
and then I bull rush him.
Hell yes.
Ooh.
All right, fantabulous.
Wait, you didn't
Shit.
bull rush the pregnant lady?
No, I'm not gonna bull rush the pregnant lady. God. This is
I mean,
terrible.
I think I need you to. Oh, okay. He begins to like take up a matador stance, like, "Ole!" But you don't even like fully make it to him, and he's like, "Oh, never mind, that was disappointing."
Okay. Well then, all right. So it's swing and a miss, but like as like I like miss with the I guess the headbutt, right?
Yeah.
I'll pull back and continue through with Zalara. So like headbutt miss, but use the momentum to try to get a slice in with Zalara. 22. Oh wait, actually that's gonna be 23.
You see, his hand goes up, as if to cast a spell, as a reaction.
I cast counterspell. So.
I say, hint, 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 hint. Entirely up to Ezra. Going once, going twice. Vroom, shield goes up. Zalar clatters off of an arcane shield.
Sorry, Jay, I feel
And
like,
Driven,
I feel like
Driven looks
they're
at you and
on
goes, "Oh, close."
It's gonna get a lot closer.
spot.
That'll be in turn.
All right, fair enough. Bones, you're up.
His mean bones. I got a guy next to me.
You do.
And also, that's his reaction down, so that makes things easier. Unless he has multiple reactions, Jeremy.
He might. He's an archmage.
He's a pretend mage.
Okay. I will. Disengage. And I'm gonna run 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and flank with my burrow.
Okay.
And
You kind of dart over there. Driven's like,
I'm gonna take an advantage stab with the Serpent's Fang.
Okay.
That's 20 to hit. Might not hit.
Rebounds off of the arcane shield that he already has up.
Damn him. Damn him. Alright. That's what I can do for the turn because I've used all my stuff.
All right, sounds like a plan. At the end of your turn, Erelal Freth, you see she touches the, there's a necklace that she's kind of wearing of white. It looks like pearls, but there's other little like details in there that are hard to make out. She touches it. And she says, "Well, let's correct some of our mistakes." And her hand flies up as she begins to cast the spell.
Oh. Okay.
I've got a lot of duty on
Okay.
Ezra over here of like,
Yeah.
are you gonna, or are you not gonna? Are you gonna, or are you not gonna?
I'm gonna 4th level counterspell that.
Fourth
What's
level
mass?
counterspell. That was a
Mass is a 5.
5.
that was a 3rd level spell.
So it's canceled.
It is canceled. She looks over at Ezra and she says, "Well, we have our first problem, child." And that is
Yeah, Bones.
that is her legendary action. It's Matashtai's turn.
Okay. Interesting. Well, I feel like I'm just consigning Ezra to death if I leave him over here. So I'm gonna run over to this guy.
Yeah, everyone else abandoned me. Jesus Christ.
Trying to
I
focus
wanted to be a
fire.
mage. I'm a mage slayer. God
He is a mage slayer.
All right. And we haven't gotten to try it yet, so I'm gonna dash over to this dude, and I'm going to attempt to Fist of the Unbroken.
You run up on
Unbroken
Zeron,
arrow.
and he's like, "Oh, hold up, hold up, hold up, hold!" You All right,
You can.
all right. What do we got to do?
So it'll be a strength saving throw. And I'm just spending 6 key points. I just want to see how much damage we can put into it.
Strength saving throw.
Punch
Holy
that
shit!
man.
All right, very cool.
So the DC should be 17.
17 strength saving throw. He has not a very high roll. Made it anyways. He has a +2. Rolled well.
Whatever.
Hey, where's PX? That's concerning.
Ooh.
Trash roll anyway.
It's not the worst. You got a 9 in there, an 8 in there, 2
Not
5s.
average.
That is the equivalent of 2 attacks of my 4.
Yes. Yeah. Well, I mean, part of the heightened idea of the Fist of Unbroken Air is that it's a ranged attack for you, that doesn't require you to like swap into different weapons and things like that, and can knock people around.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Then I will use my bonus action to patient defense.
Okay, so he takes half damage on a success?
Let me double check. I believe so.
I think so.
So it'd be 16.
And it's not an attack, it's a saving throw, so he cannot
Yep,
uncanny
half as
dodge
much, and they don't push or knock prone.
it. Okay, so he takes 16. So he gets kind of like slammed back into the door, and he's like, "Okay, I said hold on." All right, anything else?
Just the patient defense. If you didn't
Patient
hear me.
defense. Pick a icon to mark yourself with, and it is Driven Breath's turn.
Ninja.
You see
ninja.
the Drow Archmage of House Breath look at the situation that he's in, and he goes, boys, please. And he takes a step back towards the wall, kind of like trying to keep himself, you're staying in range, right, but trying to keep himself a little less flanked. And you see he motions with his hand. He doesn't cast a spell or anything like that. He just motions with his hand, and you see a like pencil apparate in front of him, and then it goes and it morphs from like this small stick to a staff that begins to slowly spiral and twist in the air around him of its own volition. So he summons that.
Cancel.
Okay. And I think he might also go to cast another spell. Or cast an actual spell.
Alright. Reaction stab.
Reaction stab. Awesome. So that triggers your reaction stab. Go ahead and stab.
At normal. I rolled a 16.
16 does not hit. His current AC is a... actually, I'm not going to say that. You see, as you go to stab him, as he goes to incant, you see that staff that he just summons suddenly woof, hurls in front of you and smacks your arm trying to block your attack. As the staff of interposing ideals defends Driven autonomously.
What? How did our ideals might align? You don't know?
I don't make the judgment calls. That's the staff's duty. Then his spell goes off, and he looks over at Victor and he says, "No offense, love," and he poof, appears next to Erlol.
Okay. Goodbye.
All right. It is Balrin's turn.
Did that look like a misty step?
Yeah, it's just a misty step. Absolutely. Easily identifiable for you. Balrin looks at you, Ezra, and he says, I take no pleasure in this. And he,
As he's got lightning hair going on. I take no pleasure in this.
I take no pleasure in
you
this.
asshole.
But he draws the vital scimitar that has been gifted to him by you all, and he's gonna try to start smacking you. So he swings at Ezra with the vital scimitar. That is a 16.
He's like, you
That's
did
a miss,
just chain
right?
lightning me, fucker.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah,
And
yeah,
then
no,
he
that hits,
swings
yeah.
again for 23.
Yep, both those hit.
A 16 hits?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
I have 14 with mage armor.
Gotcha. All right. So, he's not holding back, but he's not trying to kill you.
Ow.
You see each
Right.
time he is kind of like turning the blade at the last moment. He knows he's going to hit you, so he's like trying to make sure it's not mortal or anything like that.
Right. Yeah.
But he still smacks the shit out of you.
Oh,
right?
yeah, of course.
Though of a note, actually no, he doesn't have any right now. He probably could have taken some off of the dead drow that you all killed, but I'm gonna say that he just doesn't have poisons or anything at the moment. So that's his turn. It's Vikadara's turn. Vikadara is going to actually pull her short sword and look at each of you and look to Ashes, and she says, never got to thank you all for what you did, and then she tries to smack you. Short sword, 23.
Jesus.
Let's see. So it's 2021 with 22, 23 is the maximum I can make it. Meets it would beat it, so
Meets it would
it's
beat
gonna
it.
happen. Yep.
All right. You take 7 piercing and 4 poison because you're resistant, right?
Yep.
Swings
Is
again.
that
10
magical?
No, it's not magical. So
Okay,
it would
so
actually
that
be
is-
3 piercing and 4 poison.
Yep.
And then we are to Erelal. Erelal actually gets her first turn. Oh my goodness. First thing I think she is going to do is she is going to say, let's try that again, shall we? And she's looking directly at Ezra as she does, and she goes to cast again, this time successfully casting a mass healing word. Just mitigating a little bit of Ezra's chain lightning. To all of the figures in the chamber. And then, I think probably... Yeah, okay. She's like, she looks over at her brother and she says, I am not hiding. And she steps forward and she says, on guard at Ashes, and she's kind of like, she doesn't waddle, right? She is still very graceful, but she is very pregnant. So she kind of like strides like this over towards you and then starts swinging at you with this really sketchy looking glaive.
Okay.
So she's going to
AC.
take an attack against you with the Mother's Touch.
Giggity.
That's a
Ooh,
15. Big
Oh,
miss.
no stepmother.
And so she will take her second attack with Mother's Touch. Ooh. Rolls both times. Lucky
Yep,
you.
I reply with touche.
Touche. All right, here we go. Here we go. It's Mossy.
Mossy! Mossy, he looks over at Balrin. He feels a little bad, so he's gonna try and bite this other guy.
Fair enough.
Bite!
Okay. Zoran, with Matashtai right in front of him and Zoran, or the Zorn, Mossy coming after Zoran. Zoran's kind of like, all right, come on now.
You teleported in here.
A 22, 24, 22 and 24 hit. So minus 15. Yes. He is going to uncanny dodge the 10, so he will only take 5 of that. Okay. Anything else?
Nope, he's gonna hold. He don't want Ezra to get flanked. He holds here.
Sounds like a plan. Alright. I think Zoran appraises this situation and says, yeah, I don't think I want to be here anymore. And he just like steps backwards and is gone. Bones?
Hello.
There is a shadow that appears next to you.
It's a box.
It's a box. And then Zoran appears in the box.
Hello. You gotta teach me how to do that.
And then he's gonna attack you with his Shadow Summoner.
Okay.
18 is a miss.
That misses. I believe my AC is 19. It is.
It is. A 27 hits.
A 27 does indeed hit.
So again, kind of like taunting you more than anything, but he like smacks you with the flat of the blade hard.
Not a fuck up.
And as he does, you see these kind of like he hits, and there's this kind of like of shadow that just kind of like billows out from the blade, and it kind of like burns a little on your skin.
No, not my skin.
That is gonna be his turn. Ezra, you're up. And you see Driven's just looking at you, just like, interesting.
Hi. Fuck me. I mean, what's the worst that can happen? Might as well try. I'm going to again begin casting. As I do, I Tempestuous Magic and Shift. And I'm going to do a 6th level.
Yep. He's going to try to counterspell whatever it is you're going to do. He's going to just do at a regular 3rd level. So that's going to be a 3rd level counterspell. He has... Ooh, another chain lightning. Holy fuck. Alright, so he needs to be a 16, right?
Mm-hmm.
He has a +7.
Okay, so he still rolls slightly below average.
So a 9 or higher will counterspell this, because it meets it, beats it, right?
Yep.
So,
Yeah,
natural
roll-
20. Yeah, he looks at you and he says, not only am I not gonna let you do that, I'm sure as shit not gonna let you do the same thing twice! Whoosh! Snatches your electrical energy out of the air.
That's funny. I like that.
Well played.
That was gonna fucking hurt, too. That was
What?
not gonna be
No,
good.
that would have been fun. That would have been fun.
Oh,
Everyone would have enjoyed a little energy drink.
goodness gracious. Alright, anything else for your turn?
No, that's
Let's-
bonus action.
Catch you fucking 46 damage fucking chain lightnings. Alright, Ashes, you're up. And you find yourself flanked.
So I'm gonna immediately go ahead and ride up and only take 2 damage. That is so rare.
That's a very rare roll
let's
for you.
Do force. What is it for? Thunder, whatever it is. All right, and so for my action, I will raise Zalara towards the Great Mother, and when I do, Teresa's fall kind of like falls off of my arm, and around my bicep, wearing like a armlet,
Yeah.
is the circlet of blasting, and I
Oh,
aim a little bit to
Nice.
her right over her shoulder and hit Driven with it.
Very, very cool. I will
Disadvantage.
I will let you make a performance check. Right? It's going to be a high because the circlet of blasting is a ranged attack, and you're doing a ranged attack in melee. Normally, that would be at disadvantage. I'll let you make a performance check, DC 15. If you make it, you can make the ranged attacks at regular because you catch them off guard with your performance.
That's fine.
Performance 4. Okay, it's a good thought, but you get like bumped into from behind as Vikadara's right there, and she's not just gonna let you have your way, right? So this
Advantage.
might throw off your attacks. Ooh, Jesus Christ!
That's an 18 and 11.
I forget your intelligence is actually really good.
Yeah,
Notice
it's
the
high
fucking-
now.
the
Yeah,
fucking
I wonder why it
score.
got so high.
God damn it!
Hmm.
That in it naturally has a +5 on it.
Oh no! I'm sorry.
No, if it has a +5, that's the modifier.
That's what it
You don't-
rolls at. It
Oh,
doesn't
the
roll with your
modifier itself
proficiency.
is plus.
Yeah,
It doesn't
you don't
roll with your
add anything
proficiency or
to
your
it.
intelligence. It just roll. It's a D20 plus
Always a
5
plus
because it's
5,
the
okay.
item that does it. So anyone could, in theory, cast the spell with it. That's
Then that
that's
is
the
a
trade-off.
16, and I'm gonna fix that.
I will say if you weren't aware of that, so if you don't want to do that, you can walk that back because that's a significantly limited comparatively kind of like choice. Up to you though. Like I feel like you were not playing with full information on that one. So if you want to walk it back, feel free to walk it back.
I've had this thing for so long.
That's fine. Yay or nay?
Sure. I'll still keep the right.
That's
but
fine.
I'll just instead turn to Vikadrana, and I'll say, I'm sorry, you just got healed.
She gives you this look, just like, right?
Oh.
This is not a good night for me.
Please confirm that critical.
You
Oh
got
my
it.
goodness.
It's
Oh,
confirmed.
no.
Oh no, you do. So what I'm gonna say is, because as that happens, right, like you feel a pressure in the back of your knee as Erelal just like hits you with the butt of her glaive in the back of your knee and like sends you down to one knee, fouls your attack entirely. And what this is potentially gonna do is, if you make an attack on any more attacks on Vikadara this turn, they're done at disadvantage because Erelal is fucking with you.
Okay. Sounds good.
So are
You
gonna
could,
attack
though,
the
just
pregnant
turn on
lady,
Erelal instead,
or
yeah.
Are you gonna attack the other girl at disadvantage?
I'm not hitting the pregnant woman.
What do you
It's
mean you're not
I'm-
hitting the the pregnant woman's gonna hit you?
Yes, and that's fine. I'm not gonna.
Y'all gonna
strike-
y'all gonna get got just because you won't hit a pregnant lady. She gonna
I'm sorry.
She gonna hit. Okay,
Excuse me?
never mind. Sorry.
Excuse me?
Ezra's tossing
Alright.
lightning bolts all over the place. He's perfectly
Yeah,
fine
but I'm
with
not
hitting.
gonna try to run a fucking pregnant lady through with a fucking sword.
God.
What's happening?
On God.
Shit. Yeah, fuck it. Yeah, I'm just gonna hit and yeah, whatever. Don't care.
Vikadara still
Yeah, that's a disadvantage. So
23 still
23.
hits. Yeah,
okay, good.
absolutely. This is an elite warrior, but not that
17
elite of a
damage.
warrior.
All right.
17
end
damage.
turn.
Hell yeah. Okay. You slash. The first one gets fouled, but you stand up again, take another swipe. You're able to cut across Vikadara.
End
And
turn.
Bones, you're up. You have a Shadow Dancer has apparated on your side and is now fucking with you. What do you want to do?
I will. I will use my bonus action to go ghost.
Ghosting.
I grasp the necrotic energy around me and wrap it all around me, and I'm a ghost.
Okay.
I will then
Zaron,
So-
you do that, and Zaron replies to you and goes, I'll teach you mine if you teach me yours.
I wink at him.
Okay.
And then I'm not gonna disengage. I don't have it disengaged because I use my shit. So.
Oh yeah,
he
he'll
wants an
totally
opportunity,
swipe
so I
at you if that's the case then.
All right. Well, it's a disadvantage because I'm a ghost.
Perfectly fine. Disadvantage. Whoop! A 15. That's a miss.
Or it doesn't hit.
Okay.
And then I will hit the pregnant lady.
She looks at you as you kind of approach and she says, "Finally."
And I mean, since we're doing it, I'm gonna do it. And I will go all the way around. An advantage.
We got the
Yeah.
daisy chain.
I guess so. So it's fine. 32. Does a 32 hit?
I mean, yeah, if I told you a 32 didn't hit, I feel like I would. Yeah. A 32 absolutely hits. Yes.
Okay. Snake. And also the button, this one, Whale to Vicadaro.
Minus 33. Minus 2. Let me check this. Nope, we're still good. To who? To Vicadara?
Yes.
Okay. The psychic whale screeches out, lurches up and over, slams into Vicadara. Vicadara hits the counter behind her where the crystal decanter is. Drops her short sword, throws up her hands. She's out of the fight.
And I will use my free action to draw the serpent's fang. I mean, not the serpent. Sorry, the wind spike.
Okay, gotcha.
No, I've used that today. Gore.
Gore. Okay, gotcha. Matashtai. Actually, I'm gonna say Bones at the end of your turn. Eralaw looks at you and she says, "I've been itching for some good action," and she's gonna swipe at your head.
All right, at disadvantage.
Sure.
None of these fucking icons are like a ghost. I don't know. What
Yeah,
I'm supposed
I need more icons. Disadvantage.
to do. This is kinda ghosty. Thank
I'm
God.
glad that was a disadvantage.
Yeah, fucking me too.
Oh, fuck. All right. Doesn't hit. Matashtai, it's your turn.
I'll show you how to do it later.
Don't worry about it.
Okay, I'm going to dash on over, and I'm gonna say, "Ooh, is this like a wall, or is this?"
Yeah, that's a
not
full-on wall. You can't get in there.
Okay.
Yeah, just climb up the
Okay.
wall. Just right on the side of the wall.
I mean,
Ooh,
you
yeah,
could
how-
go
how
on
still
the
it?
wall and over. Yeah, technically
How
above
still?
him. But you wouldn't get flanking in that instance. I don't think.
I'm sorry, I
fine.
meant to shift over for you. I just forgot. I was excited about hitting her.
Huh? How high is the ceiling?
How
It's about 15 feet. You could totally get up there. It's probably about 12 feet.
Okay, not super tall.
You could be on the ceiling and hit someone with Tonbakiri. Hitting someone with your fist would not be a thing though.
You,
That's fine.
you could
I'm s-
also knock Elon out.
Balrin?
Or sorry, Balrin. Yeah.
Nah, I won't be showing this mage
Our
boy.
other Freth ally.
You run up on Driven and Driven's like, "Oh, come on.
Don't be a caster.
Don't."
I'm gonna go put PX to bed. I'll be back.
He looks at you and he just gives you
I-
like this. He gives you a this.
Okay. Bonk.
Yeah, I mean a 33 will hit. Absolutely.
Um,
Definitely.
and then I'm going to Hand of Harm that.
Minus 22.
then
Minus
another
10. Nice, nice.
And
Hella.
then hit 2. Ooh, that one's not so good.
16 does not hit. That staff whirls in front of you, gets in your way.
Okay. And then I'm gonna flurry of blows. Punch 1.
You see, he kind of sighs as you keep swinging at him. A 24 will hit.
Bonk.
Another 11 damage.
And then I try
Nice.
to trip him. Do a trip kick. Oh damn, never mind.
15. No, you sweep down, and the staff just doof into the ground, catches your leg.
All right, I see you. I see you.
Okay. Anything else?
Nope, that's all I got.
Okay. At the end of your turn, Erelal is going to try to backhand Ashes. It's a miss.
That's a miss.
And then it's Driven. Driven is going to He's going to begin casting a spell.
Honor spell, fourth level.
I'll also take a stab at him.
All right, fantastic. Stab first, because if you hit, he has to make a concentration check, right, to cast the spell?
I don't think so, but let me
Double check
read
that
it.
for me. 20. That's a
21.
spell. When you damage a creature that is concentrating on a spell.
Yeah, it's just concentration disadvantage.
Okay, so he hit. You hit. With your 9, 3.
And I do
Well.
get sneak on that.
Yep, you do.
It's not part of my turn, so sneak.
17. Okay. I need a spellcasting check from you, Ezra. Your DC is 17 because it's a 7th level spell.
21.
Ooh. All right. Ezra counters Driven's force cage that was going to lock Matashtai and Bones in place.
That'd have been unfortunate.
That would have been unfortunate.
You see Driven just goes, ah. He looks over at Erlon and he goes, "This is why I hate fighting other mages in tight quarters. We don't do anything. We just look at each other and go, no, 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 no." And
It's
that's
called
until one of
expanding
you
your
runs out of spell
vocabulary.
slots.
that's the end of
Magic's
his
the
turn.
Gathering with blue decks.
Right.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
a pair of blue decks
Blue
going
be-
against
blue be
each other.
blue.
Absolutely. Wonderful. Okay. That is going to be the end of his turn, I believe, in this instance. At the end of his turn, Eralal's going to swing at Ashes again, at normal.
Huh?
22!
I will use my reaction
Very
to
nice.
give myself 2 AC and therefore deflect the blow.
All the things for you to deflect the blow with, you deflect the
Yeah.
blow with an artifact made from
From
House
an
Avrendar
Avrendar's-
items. How fucking dare you? That is the end of Driven's turn and the end of Eralal's
kinda fucked up when you think about
legendary action. Balrin is going to say.
That's a weird thing to say.
He's gonna skirt Mossy, and he's gonna come. He's gonna look at Ezra, and he's gonna be like, "You're a bit of a problem. You know that, right?"
You give Mossy a wide berth.
It absolutely does. Swings at Ezra. A 20,
It's
16,
Also hits.
All right, another 18 damage to Ezra. Whap, whap.
I'm
Don't worry,
looking
dog.
rough. Fun fact, I'm looking rough.
Uh-oh.
You gotta,
Erlal,
Why can't we
They
see
have
your
eyes on
HP
deck.
anymore?
Erlal is up.
Yeah, I can't see Ezra's.
I mean,
I'll double check.
we're also at a point where there's no way that my AC's ever gonna.
Matter anymore?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know that feeling. It's like cricks all over again. It's like, why did I stack AC? It means nothing at the end.
I don't know about that. I mean, Ezra's been getting hit, but a lot of you have not been getting hit. AC absolutely matters.
Yeah, but the difference between 14 and 22.
Your AC might not matter. Their AC matters. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And the
I
amount
get
of
what you're
work it
saying.
would take for
Also,
me
I
to
can
get
see his
up
18, I think.
there is not
mhm.
worth it for what I'd have to.
All right. I think at
Lose.
this point, we are gonna do a combo. We're gonna do. Erlal is gonna begin to cast a spell. You have already countered a spell, right, Ezra?
Correct. Yep.
So this goes off without a hitch. You see some.
Unless you'll allow me to have another reaction.
No. You see some sort of spell go off and begin to settle over all of the combatants within the chamber.
Damn, us too? We're combatants?
Aside from you guys. Sorry.
Oh, the enemy.
Including the Kadara, who is technically not a combatant anymore.
Oh, is she unconscious?
Yeah, she's surrendered. She's dropped her weapon. She's surrendered. She's out of the fight.
She said, "Goddess is mercy. Goddess is mercy."
So Erlal casts a spell, and then she is going to look at Zaran, and you see her crown begins to kind of glow a little bit, and she says, "Do as your matriarch has asked you." And you see he kind of sighs, and he says, "Okay." And it's Mossy's turn.
Mossy! Mossy still fears bound for Balrin, so he's gonna go. Well, no, he can't because he can't reach anyone else. Sorry, Balrin.
Yeah, the guy that's about to knock out your mage, he feels bad about.
He flanks with Ezra. He's Mossy.
Hello.
Mossy is here and he's flanking with Ezra.
He's
1, 2,
flanking
3,
with
4.
Ezra. God, what do we got?
So many dice.
24, 20, and 24 hits. Hella.
Alright, 18 plus 14 is 32
32.
damage.
Yep.
Minus 32. Yeah, Mossy just begins to tear into Balrin, and Balrin is just like trying to defend himself, almost falling back into Ezra, trying to defend himself from Mossy. Just like, God damn it, Mossy!
Mossy, no! Mossy, stop!
Yeah.
Mossy, enough!
Basically.
Bad.
All right.
That's all he can do.
If that is the end of your turn, it is Zaran's turn. Notate that we are on turn 3 because that's important. I'm gonna draw a shape over here. We're gonna draw tasty thingamabobber right there. Zaran appears behind you, Matashtai, and goes,
He's flanking.
really, no hard feelings, but orders. And then he tries to stab you. He does not try to smack you with the flat of his blade. He tries to stab you.
Okay.
And this is going to be at advantage. That is an 18. That's cool. He is going to roll his Blessing of the Great Mother.
Was that?
Damn, super
So
blood.
that is a 24 to hit.
Oh, well, I mean, the 18 hit.
Oh, did the 18 hit? Well, he didn't. He didn't necessarily know that.
Okay.
I try not to like eyeball y'all's stuff constantly, because then it makes me play in a particular way, right?
Yeah.
So.
That's fair.
So he uses his Blessing of the Great Mother, and is going to hit you And as that happens, you see the shadow that he has apparated out of is consumed. He stabs you. The consumed shadow flows through the blade that he has stabbed you with. And
Okay.
you take
Stabs you again.
an extra
Oh.
21 necrotic damage.
That's a few.
Cool. So it's 31 damage.
Yes.
Cool.
These guys are busted.
And then he tries to stab you again. That's a 30. That definitely hits. So that's another 13
Yeah.
damage your way.
So 44 damage?
Yes.
Okay. Good thing he did not hit Ezra.
No, he did. He was the first person to hit me.
Yeah, but not
Just-
with that.
He just didn't channel his shadow into
Yeah.
his blade.
Aerolol kind of like gives him an approving nod of like, okay, you did the thing you're supposed to do.
All right. Fair enough. I hear you.
And it is now Ezra's turn. Or actually, it is still Aerolol's turn, or it is still Zeron at the end of Zeron's turn. Sorry, the words. Aerolol is going to take her legendary action, and she is going to do another mass healing word. But is that incorrect? No, that's correct. Oh, that's funny. It rolled max anyways.
Yep.
Okay. Fair enough. So that's going to be another mass healing word to all of her allies.
That's a few points.
Okay. And it's Ezra's turn.
So the fun thing with sorcerers and their meta magic, realizing that this is probably a
I know.
no.
I know it's coming.
Option.
I know it's coming, but they don't know that this is
Yeah.
them learning what you guys are capable of just as much as
Yeah,
it's you guys
exactly.
learning what they're capable of.
I
So
just need to make sure there's a.
I am aware that Ezra can do this, but they are not aware.
There's
that
a
Ezra can
verbal
do this.
component to it, so I'm gonna go ahead and use subtle spell,
Okay. Hello.
and I'm gonna use destructive wave.
Very nice. Hell yes. Okay. Each creature you choose within 30 feet of you must succeed on a Constitution saving throw or take this shit ton of damage. If they do not succeed, they are knocked prone. Okay. Aerolol first. Aerolol is going to DC 17 Constitution saving throw. He does have a plus 12 because she is the great mother. She's birthed a lot of kids, so Constitution's kind of her thing. She does fine. Driven has a not a great Constitution saving throw. Boop. As a 4.
Nice.
Driven is going to use his 1 legendary resistance to resist that effect.
Oh shit!
Hold on, hold
All
on.
right,
Wait,
all right.
hold on. Let me read something real quick.
What are you reading?
I don't think you can cancel legendary resistances.
Well, all right, all right. So there's the blood curse of exposure. You can use your reaction to temporarily weaken its resistance until the end of the next turn.
No.
It loses resistance to
No,
all the damage types.
Yeah, he's not gaining resistance. He's saying I succeed on the saving throw.
yeah,
Okay.
And
Yeah,
he's
it's
using
different.
a legendary resistance to
Okay.
succeed on the saving throw. Yeah.
Good call out. That's always
really,
good.
yeah, potentially crafty use though. Zeron is going. He has a plus 7. He fails. Oof. And then Balrin has to resist this fucking thing. Poor Balrin. He super fails. Okay, what do we got here? We've got
So it's 13 on a success,
okay.
27 on a failure, assuming that Thunder and Radiant are not resistances for
Gotcha.
individuals.
27 here. 27 here. And Balrin and Zeron are knocked prone.
Nice.
Balrin and Zeron.
Are knocked prone.
They're
Yeah,
on their
we'll-
ass right now. They're
Zero
not
on the back.
they are not yielding. They're just knocked prone because of the spell.
Yes. Yeah.
Just to make it clear.
Mm-hmm.
And as I complete that, I am going to use my tempestuous magic to shift yet again.
All right. Awesome. Ezra, you're up, or Ashes, you're up.
The ashes hit the pregnant woman.
I run past the pregnant woman, giving her an opportunity to hit me.
I mean, okay, yeah, she's gonna take an opportunity to hit you.
Wow, he just set me up to die. Got it. Thanks.
She will use
No,
another touch on you.
he's down. I gotta swing at him.
24 to hit.
Already had advantage on the pregnant woman.
No, I can't. Pregnant.
You can't hit the. I feel
Now,
like
every
I've
woman
hit.
from now on, the
I've
whole
hit
campaign
not
is gonna be
Ashes.
pregnant.
I haven't hit Ashes wall, but I think I've hit Jay's wall. I think Jay can't
Yep.
hit the pregnant woman,
Alright,
which
is the
I feel for you,
slashing
Jay.
magical?
Yes, this is a very magical weapon. So you take
I
11
take
slashing and
all
12
damage.
psychic. I need you to make a DC 19 Wisdom saving throw.
3. Sorry, I was taking the damage. And you said what saving?
DC 19 Wisdom saving throw.
Wisdom. Here we go. Hey, I made it.
You feel you have a brief moment in your mind as this glaive slashes into your shoulder. You have this flashback on the streets of oh god, what's it called?
Elturel.
Elturel, right? And it's of this relatively motherly figure to you when you were a young orphan on the streets trying to survive, right? Tanning your hide, beating the shit out of you because you did some dumb thing, right? You have this almost for a moment your heart is gripped by the fear of a mother figure, but you resist it.
Okay. So,
Oh boy.
I see this guy and on the ground, and I'm just gonna start swinging.
Okay.
31.
All right. He looks at you and he is going to use his reaction to appear behind you. Your initial attack automatically misses.
He's prone on the ground.
He is prone and he's still prone on the ground.
He's just prone on the ground behind you.
Yeah, he's now prone on the ground behind you.
What the fuck? Get your ass back over here. Now, is it still advantage since he's prone?
Yeah, you
Yes.
still have advantage. Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah,
27.
God damn it. Yeah, that's a hit. Totally a hit. He's like, oh shit.
For 18.
Okay, absolutely.
And bonus action once more.
It's like, son of a bitch.
For an additional 12.
12. Okay. Easy peasy. Alright. So he does, right, he uses a reaction to Shadow Bamp your initial attack, but then you're able to just lace into him in the immediate aftermath. Anything else for your turn?
Nope, that's action and bonus. I am done.
Okay. Bones, you're up. You see now Erelal is kind of turned to regard you, and she's looking at you in your kind of your spectral, your ghost form, and she's kind of
Ooh.
interesting.
I said,
And she
"Ooh,
kind of
no," so she went over
levels
here.
the glaive at you, like she's gonna just poke you with it.
Yeah, I shift over here to fight with
She
my boy
looks and she
Mossy.
sees Mossy behind her, and she's like, just shakes her head like, I can't believe you.
And I go,
Mhm.
yep. And I stab her.
Stab her.
I
14?
attempt to stab her.
A 29 is definitely a hit. Absolutely.
Snake. I clicked it. Whale. To prone man.
Whale to prone man.
Offhand will go.
okay.
It's still at advantage.
It is at this point that for the first time in this entire fight, Erelal lets out a cry of pain. And immediately, as... let me flip over to this.
Rilna shows up.
As you have now done a quarter of her HP,
We were warned.
every drow in the room, upon hearing the cry of pain coming
We were
from the
warned.
Great Mother, you see every single one of them stand up straighter, get into a better position, and each one of them looks as if they are instinctually going to murder you in the next moment.
Excellent.
We were warned.
Great.
Every combatant on the Drow Mother's side is filled with zeal to defend the Great Mother.
It is what it is. Gore offhand.
Okay. Awesome. 29 hits. Absolutely.
She's wounded.
3 damage.
Enjoy
She
that.
would. Hell yeah. She got
Also,
a
I don't know
little
if
bleeding
she's
heart.
concentrating on anything. If she's concentrating on anything, those are a disadvantage.
The first one she already rolled. I will roll again because I didn't realize. She actually has advantage on her concentration checks.
So normal.
So it should be normal. So that 30 will succeed. And then the second one is also success.
Jesus
Yeah,
Christ.
that's a success. Okay.
Yeah, she's really good at Constitution. Or
Yeah, that
yeah. So, anything
Alright,
else for
well.
your turn?
No.
Matashtai, you see every single drow that is still in this fight, and even the others, right? Like you see Olgrith and Shazantar off on the side, like they both reach for their scimitars and they hold themselves still because they know this is just a spar, but they want to jump in and they want to start stabbing the people that have hurt the Great Mother.
So just me then. No, me and Ezra.
No, all of you. Like all of these drow now have advantage in the next turn against all of you.
Good to know. Okay.
They are filled with zeal to protect the Great Mother.
Okay, I'm going to run up the wall away from Drizzen. Does he swing on me?
He won't swing on you, but he as a
Forecaster.
will cast on you. Yeah, absolutely.
Sure. Go for it.
Okay. He will. Trying to make sure I don't fuck up.
Is it any spell or is it a cantrip?
When a hostile creature's movement provokes an attack of opportunity from you, you can use your reaction to cast a spell at the creature rather than make an opportunity attack. The spell must have a casting time of 1 action and must target only that creature.
Oh, he's got a better warcaster then?
No, that's normal.
That's
Oh, is it? I thought it was
that
a
should
hand.
be copy pasta from Warcaster. Yeah. He
No, yeah, you're right. Cast a spell. Damn.
he
The
needs
big
you.
thing is it's has to target one person
Yes.
and action.
Oh, actually, he cannot. He
Oh, because he tried
countered.
to
Yeah.
He countered
He
Ezra's...
tried to counter.
Tried to counter
tried,
Ezra's
yeah.
big thing, yeah. So he has already utilized
No,
his
no,
reaction.
No, I subtly casted it, so he did
Oh.
not this round.
Thank you. Never mind.
Yep.
Thank you for
Yep.
keeping me honest. He can use his
course.
reaction.
Yeah, he
Whee!
did.
All right. Fantastic. I need you to make a Why is this not over here? I'm going crazy. I gotta do math. Why do I have to do math? Where's this at?
Crazy, but it feels alright.
Yeah, I deleted a section apparently that I was not supposed to delete. I apologize. Oh no, there it is. Oh fuck. Matashtai, I need you to make a DC 23 Wisdom saving throw.
Okay. I'm going to use my reaction to gain advantage.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. You see, this big ring.
Literally can only succeed this if I crit.
You see this big ring on his hand glow, right? As he uses his Sorcerer Master's ring to increase the DC of his spells by 2. As you go to run up the wall away from him, Matashtai, his gaze follows you. He looks across at Vikadara. Out of the fight, he looks at Balrin and Zeran on the ground, and he goes, "Enough of this farce," and his hand streaks up after you, and he dominates you, and he says, "Please take care of your werewolf friend."
What? Who's going?
Matashtai is now
The mage
dominated
just got
on their
dominated.
side,
Great.
and he sends Matashtai after Ashes. So,
Okay.
to the best of your ability, I need you
so-
to now fight Ashes.
Let me double check something.
Absolutely, 100%.
Are you immune to charms as a monk?
If you have absolutely, that would be cool. Oh, I don't think you're immune, but I think you have a thing that you can use your action to remove it from you, right?
Illness
Right?
of mind.
Illness of mind?
You can
Still.
use an
Use
action.
your action to end
All right.
one effect.
Let me
Armed or
double
frightened.
check.
How the fuck does this work? Yeah, because it's like
Dominate
Yeah.
is a charm.
No, this is exactly how it's supposed to be work. Or be charmed by you for the duration. You can, as a monk, you can just break this charm effect from you, but it's going to take your action.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. You do that?
Then, yeah, I do that. And I look at him. It's like, that was very inconvenient.
He looks back at you and he says, "That was a 7th level spell."
Wait, yes, how many 7th level spells? Jesus Christ.
Or sorry, that was an 8th level spell. I apologize.
I'm sorry, what?
You're fighting the archmage of a matriarch. Yeah.
He has a higher level spells than I do. I don't like it.
So
my
there's
goodness.
this moment where Matashtai is like, "That was really inconvenient," and Driven's like, "Yeah, you fucking think?"
Okay, that definitely threw a wrench in things. I gotta double see what I
Right,
gotta double
threw a
check what
wrench
I
in
can
his
do.
things too.
He just dropped his big boy, and you just said, nah, bro. He didn't
I
even get
don't
anything
think I
out of
can
it.
use it if I didn't attack.
He got his action at the very least, but that's not a big price
That's-
tag.
Not for an 8th level spell.
No,
No. Well, you can't heal you,
Uh,
Ezra.
he's gonna be changing his fucking mind about this shenanigans. Anything else for your turn, Matashtai?
I cannot. No, I was going to try and heal Ezra, but it is not an option anymore.
Driven looks at you, and he says, "Okay, I meant it the first time around, but really, this time around, I don't actually know." Oh God. Do you move away from him or anything like that? Actually, sorry. It's you still have movement and everything. If you wanted to
Well,
reposition
yeah, actually,
yourself.
I guess I would. I would move over here by Ezra,
Okay, then he's calling up on you. He's just like,
but I just can't do
all
anything
right,
with it.
you're a bit of a. Okay. It's back to his turn. He's gonna. You already used your reaction, didn't you, Bones?
No, not. I just had a
Oh,
turn.
you have it again. Okay, gotcha. He is going to. Yeah, fuck it. I think he doesn't care. He's going to use his bonus action to cast a spell.
Okay, well, stab him.
Try to stab.
Oh, do I want to stab him? I ain't got nobody next to him now.
You do not. You will not get sneak attack.
Oh, what if she doesn't cast a spell? You really fucked me here. Yeah, you know what? I gotta work on the reel. I'll stab him anyway.
Okay.
Gotta work on the reel.
Well, I don't know if she'll cast a spell or not. I just assume
20.
she might. Why not?
20 just barely hits him. So 20 is
Alright,
exactly
well-
his AC right now.
Enjoy your 12 damage.
12 damage. Hiya. Alright. He Misty steps next to Matashtai. And he says, I guess I'll just have to finish what I started. And you see he draws. He hasn't touched it yet, but he's had a scimitar at his side this entire time while the staff has been flurrying around him. He just draws this scimitar, and he feints at you with the scimitar, right? But then the staff goes in to swing at you twice. So staff is going to swing at you at advantage because of the zeal. 32.
Okay. God.
10 damage.
That'll hit. Yeah,
And then another swing, 28.
that'll hit.
So another 11 damage to you. And that is his turn. And it's Balrin's turn. Balrin is going to get up from prone. And Balrin looks pretty fucking beat up, but he's still fighting.
Stick around.
Doing his best.
No. Don't leave.
He's gonna attack Matashtai at advantage. Vital Scimitar. 20.
Mm-hmm.
Another 11 piercing. 27.
Good lord.
Another 12 piercing. It is Errol's turn. All right. Errol goes to cast a spell.
Counter spell.
Full level.
Third.
Okay. I need you to roll me check with your spellcasting modifier.
22.
22 will cancel any spell. Very nice. That also still prompts an attack from you, right, Bones?
No, I've used my reaction.
Oh, right. Sorry. So there's that. Okay. Fucking Ezra counters Errol's Mass Cure Wound. So that is taken care of. And she is going to look once again at Zeron, and she is going to once again urge him on with the blessing of the Great Mother. That's Mossy's turn.
Maze.
You can... No, go ahead.
Okay.
You can see Balrin's
Maze-
barely on his feet. And this Zeron character also looks pretty beat up, but Driven and Errolal still look relatively healthy.
Well,
Although Driven's been fighting way more. Like, you've been the only person really fighting Errolal, so all the other drow are way
Excuse
more
me.
fucked up. You hit her with one spell. Get out of here.
Yeah, 40-some damage.
Oh, wait,
spell.
sorry, 2 spells. You hit her with the one chain lightning, and then the other spell also hit her.
Destructive wave, yeah.
Mossy can't get advantage without moving.
I mean, you
And
could at least
Mossy-
knock him down first.
I don't want him to get stabbed. All right. Well, yeah, you know what it is. What it is. He gonna try and knock Balrin out.
Okay.
Without moving.
I will say you
Yeah.
probably don't need to spam all your attacks if you want
I
to
wasn't
try
going
that.
to. I'm gonna roll until you tell me to stop.
21
16.
hits. The claw cuts into Balrin's hip, and he throws his hands up.
All right, then he spins on the mother, and an advantage. So
Throws his hands up, and he's gonna back the fuck out of the way.
He's got to roll that. Okay, so that's one attack. 23.
23 hits.
No advantage, and then bite. 26 and then
23 and the 26 hit.
all right. Enjoy that 13 damage. Mossy.
You hear now, right? Like each time she takes a blow, she kind of like grits her teeth a little bit. But that cry of pain was like a one-time thing.
Neat.
All right. It is the start of turn 4. At this point, Ezrah and Matashtai are sitting at a quarter of their HP. Bones and Ashes have both been wounded, but mostly left free. Mossy is zorning around. You have taken out the elite warriors, Vikadara and Balrin, and this Shadow Dancer, which seems to be quite deadly and very annoying in movement, also seems to be relatively squishy. So, seems to be wounded. But the Great Mother seems to show no sign of needing to halt this fight or wanting to halt this fight, as she continues to press to see just how far you all can go. But we're going to have to figure out how far you can go, or in the case of some of you are willing to go, on the next episode of Dungeon of the Mad Mage. We'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye, everybody.
I guess.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, consider leaving a like, commenting, or subscribing. It really helps me out. If you'd like to see me live, head over to my Twitch at twitch.tv/thedistanthorizon.